I bow my knee with each beat of my heart. I worship you, Lord, to know you more, to stand here and adore the glory of your presence. Your righteousness, the beauty of your holiness. Let your glory fall now in this place. I bow my knee with each beat of my heart. I worship you, Lord, to know you more, to stand here and adore the glory of your presence. Your righteousness, the beauty of your holiness. Let your glory fall now in this place. Your righteousness, the beauty of your holiness. Let your glory fall now in this place. I bow my knee with each beat of my heart. I worship you, I worship you. Where's Josiah? Here I am. Peekaboo. I see you. I mean, technically, no, I don't see you. I have no idea what you look like, but that's okay. I don't need to. It's been an interesting week. There's been some common themes, topics of conversation, verses that have been coming up, and it's kind of cool. I was talking about it with my dad recently, and it came up in I mentioned we're doing a book study at a church, and then a devotional that a family friend had sent just last night, and then this morning I was just having a conversation with another friend about it, and it's the one of the reasons that I played the song that I did. I really like that song. It's older. It's cool sounding, the chords and everything. If you heard the original, it's really nice. But the presence of God, the glory of God, basically is the idea. The verse that's been coming up often lately is 2 Corinthians 12. About my grace is sufficient for you, my strength is made perfect in weakness. So Paul's response to that is, therefore, I boast in my infirmities, etc., for when I am weak, then I am strong. The very presence of God, the very Spirit of God, the very power of God has indwelt us who are adopted into his family. So that means that even more than the fact that literally any capacity, that any capability that we have comes from him, because he's got even the ability to not do something that would be good, or to do something that's not good. That he allows that because we're the humans. We think we give ourselves the ability to do something because I worked hard or I studied and whatever, but ultimately he made us. He continues to make our heart beat. He gives us the ability to understand things that we read or do things that we want to do. He's not holding us against our will. And then in the fold, in the flock, like Jesus said, apart from me, you can do nothing. I am the vine, you are the branches. Our ability to do something that does please him must come from him. Many topics that we've discussed many times. The thoughts and the intents of the heart of man were all evil only, continually. Or whatever the phraseology was. But basically, we don't have the capacity to do something that would please God, per se. Because everything that we do will always have some selfish intent behind it. Some prideful underpinning or some ulterior motive behind it. We do something altruistic and it makes us feel good because I did something good. We do something as a favor because we're looking for reciprocation or to be owed something. We give love, wanting love back instead of unconditionally. It's just natural. But in Christ, and again, we want to make sure we clarify, it's not that there is no capacity to do something that is good apart from God, but to do something that is of eternal value apart from God, to do something that is not tainted by our own ambitions, human ambitions, our own temptations that lure us away from what is good. Impossible. So it's that relieving that should be love and gratitude inspiring, that impassioning thing, to understand that it is he who works in us both to will, to even want to do it, and to actually do according to his good pleasure. That's why we, with each beat of our heart that he gives us, I worship you. I seek to know you more. I stand before you, or I bow before you, bow my knee, adoring the fact that you wanted a personal relationship with me, and you continue to fulfill that in me despite my prone to wanderness, my prone to love another than the one who is worthy of all praise and love and respect and fear. To fear man above God, to serve self above God. It makes sense on this side of it. And that's why the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, because they're deceived, because their own flesh is drawing them away, and because it's counterintuitive to a degree. But once you really understand and really acknowledge what it means for him to be God, to be the King of Kings, then it makes perfect sense why he can be jealous, why he can have a wrathful justice that is in perfect harmony with his gracious love. That love means justice. Otherwise, evil would just be okay. And we know that that's not true. But to understand that in us is the evil, that's why it must be him in us that produces the fruit. And back to Colossians even, increasing in the knowledge of God and producing fruit and making us live for him. sustaining the faith, the hope, and the love. It has to be him. And if it is him, then I must let go. I must let God. I must say, yes, please, take this from me. Keep me in your presence. Keep your glory obvious on through me. Not that we have the glory of any kind, because again, it's him. That's why it just reflects back to him. But if we're not walking in that, then it will go away. We will, the natural state of things, of nature, is to regression, if that's the word, to decay, to go away from God, to go away from good order. There's no maintenance, as they say. There's just always the constant needing to be transformed again by the renewing of our minds, to be refilled, to be reminded. And in that, we find fulfillment, and we find that things are working out as he works all things for good, works all things according to his good pleasure, according to his will. He just gives us the opportunity to be a part of that. We just submit to that. Yes, there's always a choice to be obedient. Yes, we have to continue to choose. Otherwise, it would just still, like, he would just reprogram us and we would just love him, like, worship the Lord with, like, but no, we still have to have, there still has to be the thing inside of us that looks and then looks on this side and it says, I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with him. And then in heaven, when the evil is done away with, then there will be nothing else for us to want. And that will be the best thing for us. But he can't do that yet because it's not the time. And then there's still other people that need to choose to not want him. And that's why I'm still here. Because I'm trying to tell people, look that way, and keep the people looking this way, and for myself too. And it's by the Spirit of the Lord, by his presence within us, that we can boast in our infirmities. We can be glad that it's him doing it in us. That it really was the grace of God that I'm here. But anyway, yeah, I think that's it. I know it's like everything's so redundant, but there's always that little other element, or just like, hey, that actually I can see how this relates to that passage, or how this relates to this situation, and it just makes it cooler, And then back to the Colossians. We come to understand who God is more, and it makes us just want to do what he wants. It makes us want to live for him more. And as we live for him, fulfill the picture, then we understand God more. And it's a whole great upward spiral until he finally completes the work that he started, and we're perfect in heaven. Anyway, I'm done. See you guys. See y'all. Grace and peace.